When I was a child, I too was, like Zacchaeus, short in stature. I was, as we might say these days, vertically challenged. And one of my favorite things to do growing up, one of the yearly events that we partook in which we partook, was the St. Patrick's Day parade. And trying to get 5 of us out of the house at the same time was a challenging thing to do. And so we were always late to the parade. And being short in stature, I couldn't quite see, so I would jump around and try and find a higher vantage point. In fact, I found one vantage point on a mailbox, at which point one of the Boston police finest came and removed me from that mailbox. Apparently that was frowned upon. And so I was back to square one. And so I finally was able to get another vantage point where I saw the parade. Well, Zacchaeus is seeking to see Jesus. He's heard about him, he knows him, and even though Zacchaeus is a sinner in the eyes of the people, he truly believes that Jesus can heal him. And when Zacchaeus climbs the sycamore tree and is seen by Jesus, something interesting happens. Jesus looks at Zacchaeus and he says, "Come down quickly, for today I must stay at your house." Not, "I'd like to stay at your house," or "I think I should," or anything along those lines. He says, "I must stay at your house." He is compelled to do so. And when this happens, the people begin to grumble, wondering if Jesus knows that this man is a sinner. Well, Zacchaeus has a moment of conversion at that point. He turns to Jesus and says, "Behold, half my possessions, Lord, I shall give to the poor, and if I extorted anything from anyone, I shall repay it 4 times over." He has, if we are to look at our first reading from Revelation, he has gone from cold to hot. He has turned his life around, almost a 180. And he is now a man of faith, and he is living that faith. He was a man of faith, but now he's living that faith. He's acting on that faith. And Jesus rewards him by saying, "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a descendant of Abraham." Because Jesus sees into the heart. And he sees that even though Zacchaeus was cold at one time in his faith, because he was a tax collector, which meant that he was a Jewish citizen, but working for the Roman government, and so he was taxing his own people, maybe his own family. And not only that, but to make a living, he was most likely adding extra tax on top of the Roman tax so that he could make a living. So not only was he taxing his own people, but he's probably, in essence, stealing from them as well. And so Jesus sees this conversion, and Zacchaeus, for his part, turns from cold to hot. And this is what Jesus wants from us. In the book of Revelation, one of my favorite lines comes about when, in the book of Revelation, it says, "I know that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either cold or hot." In other words, I wish you were either, away from the faith so that I could work with you, or hot, meaning you're alive in your faith so that I could send you forth. But you are neither hot nor cold. You are lukewarm. I will spit you out of my mouth, it says. And actually, the original translation is even stronger, where the original translation is translated into what we would say as "vomit you out of my mouth." There's a force there that can't be forgotten. And that expulsion comes because they are neither hot nor cold. They are lukewarm. They're kind of meh in their faith. They're just sitting around waiting. And because of this, the writer wants to spit them out of their mouth. They don't want to have anything to do with them. Better that they were either hot or cold. Best if they were hot, if they were on fire with their faith, if they were alive with their faith. Because when we are alive with our faith, we can do amazing things. May we as a people of faith be on fire for the Lord. May we as a people of faith come to recognize the Lord's call in our life. And like Zacchaeus, may we respond to that call in fullness of love.